and very personable, and the team is very professional. The guys that were here, very respectful. We never had any issue with the team here. I think all in all, we're very, very satisfied, and I think whomever is watching this and thinking about doing something with FineCraft, man, you're in good hands and you will have what you want.
FineCraft is the general contractor, and we certainly are pleased with the final product that we got, thanks to them, and it's been a very good experience.
Was that their mantra was always, no problem. So anything that we wanted, anything that wasn't quite right that we wanted to talk about, it was always, Melissa, no problem. Michael, no problem. So always really flexible and not argumentative with us about tweaking things and adjusting things. So really, really appreciated that.
So it's been fantastic. Working with them was amazing. The communication was always, there for me via text or via email. And I really thought they really cared about not only the project itself, even though I'm sure they had a million other projects going on, but they really made me feel like I was their #1 client.
FineCraft did an unbelievable job of bringing Linda and Rick's vision to life. Their attention to detail was impeccable, and they had an incredible crew working on this project. They were able to complete it very quickly.
As the owner of Sol Architects, working with FineCraft has been super easy and very helpful. I find that their communication has been absolutely #1. That's most important for our clients too. With FineCraft, you're not just getting a contractor, you're getting a teammate. And as a team, we work together really well to see the project start to finish to make sure that all the clients' needs and goals are met. FineCraft has been very helpful for us at Sol Architects because we have someone that we can lean on for questions and advice, as well as helping us with bids. Cost is #1 for a lot of clients today. So it's very helpful when we have someone that we can turn to and make sure our budget's aligned and that we are working at a good speed.
Felt like we combined our family in March, and we felt like we needed a little extra space for whether we want to get away and have a little time together or whether we want to send the teenagers out here to make more noise, but we felt like we wanted a little extra space in our home that was separate from the main house.
But the previous kitchen had a glass tile countertop. Which meant a lot of grout, which was disgusting, and also meant that it was hard to have a level surface for cutting and putting things on it.
And everyone we spoke to listened to what we had to say, took our budget into consideration, and had really creative and pragmatic solutions based on our needs. And so we hired them.
Updates to it. The house is from 1932 with a lot of original pieces. I was really excited about doing a renovation and really keeping the heart of the house, since it hadn't been changed all that much since 1932, but it certainly needed some modernization and some upgrades. So I brought in my architect, Larissa Carrillas, who recommended FineCraft. I spoke to George early on in the process, and I just connected with him, he being an architect by training, but doing this kind of work for many years, and also appreciating the bones of this house that hadn't been touched for a long time was the reason I chose George and his crew.
One of the things that we've been involved in with FineCraft are the Zoom calls that, and in those Zoom calls, we'll have a client first meeting us, if you will. And those calls allow a client to sort of meet you virtually. Over the last year or so, there were a lot of times when we would get a random call in, but the people really didn't want to meet. And so something like a Zoom call allows them to see you and see your office, and maybe they want to see some of your work. You have the ability to do that through a Zoom call.
The Zoom introduction call with FineCraft is an excellent way to introduce ourselves as well as FineCraft to a prospective client. This is free of charge. We do this as a complimentary Zoom call. It gives us the opportunity to introduce ourselves and describe the process, from beginning schematic design all the way through permit and construction drawings. And then it also gives FineCraft the opportunity to describe how they interact with the designer. And very often that interaction starts very early, even in schematic design. We like to use FineCraft as a sounding board to help us with managing costs. They're closer to what the industry, the cost of the construction is going to be. Then if they are like what they hear, we then like to meet with the client in person and hopefully begin a journey together from design all the way through construction. The schematic stage of design is the very beginning of our process with the clients. We typically are approached by a client who often doesn't know how much the project is going to cost. We have to start somewhere by getting some pencil to paper, and that will allow the builder then to do some more accurate estimates to see in budget or not. So we start by doing quick and often freehand sketches, multiple options, multiple layouts of whether it's a renovation or a brand new house, an addition. We then get all 2, 3, sometimes more layouts done. That way we can kind of understand how they want to use the space, how they want to direct the renovations. It will reflect their scope, what they've asked us to design. And once they have 2 or 3 options, we sit down and discuss it with them, and then we decide, wow, I like a little bit of option A, but I also like a little bit of option C. So we go back to the office and we begin to compare and contrast the different options. And then we arrive at a layout that they like, that our clients like. At that point, we reach out to builders, and we then ask them to give us we call it an order of magnitude pricing. We want to make sure before we go through all the time and effort to prepare permit drawings and construction drawings, we take the time to make sure that we're on budget. And if we reach out to 2 or 3 builders, they'll ultimately at this early stage get 2 or 3 very different prices. But at least it gets us, it starts to narrow down the process. At that point, once the layout is there, the pricing point is about where they want it, then we proceed on into design development, into construction.
FineCraft helps control both the budget for those and then which are the most feasible for each specific project. When we get to the final of those construction drawings and we're ready to file for permit, we also give the full set to FineCraft, and they would actually be doing a more exact bid. By this time, clients may have already selected a window brand. They might have already selected their kitchen or their plumbing fixtures, and FineCraft's able to hone in and give them a very, very accurate assessment of what it's going to cost.
When the drawings are 100% complete and we're ready for final bids, FineCraft does a really great job giving us very accurate bids. They work well with the homeowner, they meet with them. FineCraft will bring the subcontractors to the job site and have those subs give very specific bids on their portions of the work. So that way the final bid is very accurate and there are no surprises.
Typically we pull, we'll submit the drawings for permit. We have a great permit expediter for our DC projects. In Maryland, we typically submit the drawings for permit ourselves. In Virginia, but once the permit is released, so we stay involved while it's submitted. We will answer any questions that come up from the permit reviewers. But once the permit is released, we then might produce some additional drawings that are what we call construction documents, and those might be additional details that the permit office doesn't need to see. Those would be cabinet layouts, kitchen layout, bathroom layouts, details that don't have to do with life safety, which is what the permit office is reviewing for, life safety. So once the permit is released and those additional construction drawings are complete, we combine the drawings into a full set. We call that our bid set or construction set. We hand that over to the contractor to do a final price, and that is what the client typically goes under contract with the contractor on, that full set of drawings.
The one thing that we like to tell our homeowners, the people we're working with, is that we try to be, both the builder and the architect, try to be their advocate. I do know that when we will set up regularly scheduled meetings during construction, we walk through the project, and what our primary objective there is to make sure the build is matching what was designed and specified. Working with FineCraft, we can say, look, we had envisioned it a little differently than we see it coming together. Then FineCraft or the contractor can come back and say, look, it has to be done this way, particularly in a renovation where you start to open up walls, you start to see things that are a little bit different, or if you're doing an addition. Sometimes it can't be built exactly as drawn, and we're always striving to be team players. We listen to the contractor, have to work together. Running Dog and FineCraft and the projects that we've worked with together have had a very excellent relationship during construction, because during construction it can be a very stressful time. FineCraft as well as Running Dog try to really be sensitive to that very stressful time during construction, and the disruption to people's lives is something that we take very seriously. I know that FineCraft works in an incredibly professional manner. They keep their job sites clean, they keep it orderly, they have people that are responsible, that are looking out for the property, which is extremely important to us as well, because it does nobody any good to have problems during construction, and we try to minimize that as best we can.
Once you've chosen us as your contractor, we will set a pre-construction meeting. At that pre-construction meeting, you will meet your project coordinator and your project manager. That's where we will go over the schedule of the project, details to do with your construction, areas of the house that are off limits, your rules of the house, things you want saved, and any details that we need to get acquainted with so that we can get your project started and completed in a smooth fashion.
Homeowners always like to know when it's a good time for them to start thinking about their selections. Tile selection, countertops, cabinets, appliances, and plumbing fixtures. These are major things our homeowners selected and have to be provided to us by you. So in order to help you with that, we have actually created an interactive selection schedule that is going to help you to select and get your selections ready when the time comes. In coordination with your project coordinator and your project manager, you're going to have a better understanding on when that needs to happen.
You'll also receive our selections guides. These guides help homeowners compare such things as lighting options, plumbing fixtures, and countertops, so that they can see what kinds of styles are available, how they compare to others on the market in terms of cost and quality. And these invaluable tools, along with the interactive selection schedule, help homeowners choose all of their selections in a timely manner without headache or confusion. At FineCraft, we aim to simplify the process as much as possible so that you can spend time focusing on your own career and being with your family.
It's customary that we'll start your project within about 1 month of your contract signing. Now by that time, we're gonna have your site entirely prepared. We're gonna have it ready with a dumpster, porta potty, and we're gonna have your in parts of the house that we're not gonna do construction in cordoned off. Now also, we're gonna have a schedule ready for you with an online software we have called Buildertrend. It's a very cool piece of software because it allows you to see the schedule of the project, any change orders that we issue to you, invoices, pictures, and anything else connected with your project. You'll have 24/7 access to this particular software so you can log in anytime from your mobile, laptop, or desktop device. Also, we do bi-weekly meetings with you to make sure the project is on schedule, you have all of your questions answered, and any changes that you might have for us, we address at these meetings.
When your project is complete, your warranty will be automatically activated, which means that anything pertaining to our work will be handled, such as settlement issues, cracks, etc. Just give us a call, we'll send somebody out and get it handled, no questions asked.
FineCraft is a family-owned and operated company whose sole purpose is creating aesthetically pleasing and comfortable spaces that stand the test of time. To a great project.